What is up, guys? Welcome to the Producer Pod. This is super exciting. We finally got everything set up. Today we have a special guest with us. It is the one and the only Troy. Am I saying the name right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You made me think I said your name wrong the way you look. You didn't say even like thank you. You were like, you serious? You said. You serious? You said my name wrong, dude.
No, you said it right. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, bro.
Absolutely, man. And it's really cool how we even met. It just was a spur of the moment. I see I see a certain energy in the gym. I get gravitated towards it. And I try to see like what they're about a little bit. Just pick something up because I noticed when you were working out, you had like this drive. And you kept on going to the next machine, and you had, actually, I think you were just like the best dressed person at the gym. Like you had like your full outfit on. You had like jeans and everything.
Yeah,
you were like, I'm just gonna wear whatever I want. And then you had like a tank top on too. And I remember walking over to you and being like, hey, and I tried to like get you to be friends with my sister.
Yeah.
I was like trying to like say, hey,
Right.
How did I go about that? I forget.
Yeah, I remember you just came up to me, you was asking, like, you was telling me you was like inspired by me. I was inspired by you, and then you was telling me you had a sister in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, he was wanting me to meet her, for inspiration and stuff like that. And
Yeah, motivate. So you guys motivate each other.
Long story short, we look her up, and I knew her.
Yeah, already. I was like, what the heck? I guess it's like a small world,
Right.
and that's awesome though, because I think that she needs that type of like motivation to go to the gym, and going to the gym with someone who also is in a wheelchair is like I'm sure there's a whole nother mentality you have to have that you guys can motivate each other with, even maneuvering like that must be a whole different dimension because I don't see things kind of the same way that you do. You look at like, how am I going to get around here?
Right. It was most definitely like for me like a perspective adjustment. Being in a wheelchair because initially I had got shot in my back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I definitely want to talk more about that. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's like pretty much. I was in Montgomery Village and I was walking home. It was about 4:00 and I guess I got shot really in my back and, like on the road. I was on Walker's Mill Road and I just remember waking up in a hospital and they telling me, I've been shot in my back and I was paralyzed. So
wow. How long ago was that?
It happened in 2013.
Jeez, so like 10 years ago.
Yeah, about 10 years now. Yeah.
It's about the same amount of time my sister's been in a wheelchair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about that. Maybe 12 years for her.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Ashley, now that I think about it.
So how long have you guys known each other?
I've known her for about 3 years now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
So when you were in the hospital, you just kind of woke up and how did the shooting even happen? Do you know?
I think it was a drive-by, but I honestly don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I just blacked out kind of like when I got shot and I just remember just waking up in a hospital.
Jeez.
Yeah,
so and what was the result of that? Like what happened with that?
Pretty much I got paralyzed from the situation because I was walking before and it was like my T9 T10 area. I got shot in my back and it grazed my spinal cord. So yeah, it left me paralyzed, but I still believe I'm gonna walk and I continue to work towards it. Like that's why I go to the gym more than anything.
Nice. That's what's up. Were you going to physical therapy?
Well, I go to my own type physical therapy in a way. Like I do my own personal because it's hard to get it covered with insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
I do my own, to continue to keep going and keep the faith strong.
That's what's up. So, how long has it? Did a doctor say like, hey, if you work out and do this type of thing? So, are you going like? How are you, picking what workouts to do?
Well, with me, pretty much, it all started with me just going to the gym, and I was just, like, working out. Like, with me, like, initially, I went through a very dark phase in my first 2 years, and I would just, like, lay in bed, sit around, be mad at the world, hurt and sad. So, eventually, I got tired of that. I was getting bed sores and stuff, so I was starting to hurt myself and really affect myself in a way, so really depressed and all that. So I was like, man, I'm tired of all this. I'm about to start, taking care of myself and working on myself because I believe in myself, like nobody's going to come save me. So I got to come save myself. So Initially I started off with like waking up, seeing the sun. That was my way to get myself in a positive feeling. Like
Mm-hmm.
the sun up and it's a bright day. It's gonna be a good day, and
Mm.
that was my way to get started initially. And then I was like started moving around, getting out the house, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start working out too.
Mm.
Physical therapy. My insurance isn't helping me with physical therapy and stuff, so I'm gonna do my own therapy and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna figure it out. So
Mm. Did you look up someone else that like do you look up to anyone else that has like a disability that you're like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna do their workouts?
not really, but initially though, what really kept my faith strong was when I got shot. It was another guy who came in there that same day in the rehab center. He got shot as well, and he had got shot about 4 or 5 times. So
Whoa.
initially he was paralyzed, but within a week he started, getting his feelings and everything started coming back. So that was to me my sign, like to God showing me that I could walk again too. I just got to
Mm.
put the work in. So I was like, I was mad, but I seen that too, and that was like my inspiration right there.
Yeah.
And ever since, I just been like, yeah, I'm working on it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see too many. I looked up some videos on YouTube,
Mm.
and I seen some other people who walked out of the chair too as well, who's been shot. So
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of, well, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but I definitely, I think that when I got hit by a car, I didn't realize how much I really took walking for granted or just mobility because I was in a wheelchair for 3 weeks. I mean, that's
wow,
not that long, but like I had to learn how to walk I mean, learn how to walk. Like
uh-huh.
it was like 8 months, and then I could well, one, I was waddling for like 3 months, 3 to 4 months, just kind of like doing this penguin walk, and my whole left side, I didn't have my left arm either, like casted up, and that was my ulna was broken, my tibia and my fibia, and so yeah, I didn't realize how like the simplest things like going to the bathroom, where you're like, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
walk over there, is a whole
right.
mission. You're like,
Yeah, it's
all right, how am I
different.
gonna get over there? And you're probably thinking exit plans and like if they're in case of a fire, what do I do? Or like
Right.
all sorts of things.
Yeah, like even moving around, like I gotta take scenic routes now. It's like it was quite an adjustment at first. Now I'm used to it. Been in a
Mm,
wheelchair 10 years now, but
mm.
yeah, it was definitely quite an adjustment from walking every day and then just not being able to move my legs
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
And feeling them as much, and then having to adjust into the wheelchair as my legs now and
Mm,
moving with that. Yeah, it was quite an adjustment, but hey, we here and we still
yeah.
moving and grooving, and I'm thankful to be alive
Dude,
more
me
than
too,
anything.
man.
Like, but I didn't know you had got injured too. Like your inspiration too,
Yeah,
even more.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
love it. Like
No, there's no competition, but yeah, no. I mean, it kind of happened about 10 years ago as well,
wow.
where well, I was 21. Well, I was 20. Yeah,
Yeah.
it happened 11 years ago.
Wow, I was 22 at the time when I got
Wow.
shot. I'm 32 now.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
I'm 31, so okay.
Wow.
Yeah, like I think not to say everyone should have that, but everyone should go through something that makes them realize that there is way more to just the convenience of life and the things that they take for granted. Like there is a deeper purpose, and that's through like finding motivation and motivating other people around you, and like spreading a positive message and being being that beacon, being that like that source of like that driving force in your areas, and
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, I hate feeling like like at the cause a lot, like just like I want to be at the action of what I'm doing, so
Right.
like I try to put myself in a positions where if I see someone, I can like let them know like, oh, this is like a good way to like work on whatever this type of workout or whatever. Like I just, I don't do it to everyone, but if
Mhm.
I see that they're like looking for help, I'm like, hey, I have no problem with
Right.
helping out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if there's any, even for when you're trying to work out, like if
Right.
you want to learn anything, I've no problem with teaching or telling you. You probably
Yeah,
know a
you
lot
gave
about
me
it
some
too.
pointers too when I worked out with you and your sister. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah, we did get a session in too.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I mean, you have like you're pretty built too. Like you've
Yeah,
been working out
yeah,
for
consistently for about 6, 7 years now.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I've been on it. Like I try and stay active. Like really, I haven't even had any bed sores in 6 years. Like just
Mm.
'cause I'm like active, mobile. I like to be on the move and groove. Like
Mm-hmm.
go to the gym Monday through Fridays.
Yeah.
Like just to continue, to build myself up and continue to grow with it.
Yeah. So where are you in your life right now? Like, what are you working on?
Right now, well, I got a business, a clothing business, and it's called True Stars Clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
got
Yeah,
the
I see
merch
that. I
on.
like
Yeah,
that.
our message is pretty much always stay true to the star within you. We're all true stars, and we all got special gifts and talents to give to the world to add to the betterment of the world. So this is pretty much my way to get back to the world and inspire others, and try and uplift others as well as helping them keep stylish at the same time as
Yeah.
well. Like
Why a star?
star.
Yeah. So like, cause I see you have like
Hmm.
you have you have like some symbols there
Yeah.
too.
T. It was
Okay.
just the true and then stars.
Okay.
This is my creative way of. This was my initial first design. I remodeled and redesigned, but
Yeah.
this was my very first one that I initiated with
Okay.
to start the brand. I've been in the business for about 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah,
So what are you doing pop-up shops? Like, how
yeah.
you pushing it?
Pretty much pop up shops, word of mouth, and I have an online website as well. I'm on social media. You can find me on social media
Mm.
at True Star underscore, well, True, TRU underscore stars, STARZ
Okay.
underscore. If you're looking for me on IG. And, I'm on Facebook as well, Troy Anderson Jr.
Yeah, you trying to plug everything right now. It's like we haven't even talked about anything. Like you're just like you're just like every 15 minutes we gotta plug you. We gotta do like a quick plug. I'm just teasing, man. Like you can
Yeah, I
plug
know.
me.
Edit out the True Stars part two if
No,
you
no,
want,
no.
and I will say that at the end if you want.
No, don't worry. I like to keep things like real pretty authentic,
Right.
like
Yeah,
because
I
it's all
love it
about
too.
just the
Yeah,
energy
yeah.
of the conversation,
Uh-huh.
wherever it's going. Like it, to be honest, I don't really prep that much for like barely. Actually, I looked at your page. I was like, okay, you got a clothing brand, so that's all I could really say. And I was like, okay, he's wearing it already.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's probably more to what you represent with your
Hmm.
clothing, and also like I think that yeah, like people probably see from the outside, they're like, oh yeah, he has a disability, and that's like a lot of the time people kind of I how's it say, um, like identify, what's it called, they just kind of judge you based off of your disability, and
Yeah.
they think that's really all you got,
Right.
instead of looking at it like what are you doing, as a person, like
Right.
this is just very small portion of who
Yeah.
you are.
Most
And
definitely.
so like you probably obviously there's difficulties, but like what are the things you're working on, to improve yourself, or like do you love to travel, do you love to
Yeah.
like there's so much that
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
do
would like
like
to get
traveling.
into.
I haven't traveled too much at the yet, but eventually I do want to travel the whole world and see all the different cultures and different vibes and beauty of the world. Yeah,
Mm.
that's part of something on my bucket list. But right now, like my main focus is just fully focusing on my growth in all areas of my life. Working on my spirituality with God. Meditating, sitting right. Getting my
Mm.
my mental right.
Mm.
My heart. My physical, which is going to the gym.
Yeah.
And then like I'm just trying to tap in on all levels. Like
Mm.
just fully flourish in all areas of my life because
Mm.
with me getting shot, that was like pretty much like the blessing in disguise for me, like to really change my life and do better with my life because before I was in the streets, I was running around selling drugs a little bit.
Mm.
I did my little dirt here and there,
Mm.
but yeah, I haven't been in the streets since though. Like
Yeah.
yeah, 10 years clean. I just
That's
been
what's up.
working on bettering my life and just doing what I can to be a better influence for myself and others.
That is what's up. And so what are you working on? Like how you said working on mentally. Like
Hmm.
what kind of things you do mentally to get yourself like in that motivated mindset and.
With me, like I just try to take it, day by day, one step at a time, one day at a time, and always try, find the positive in things, because it's always something positive within everything, that we go through in our
Mm.
everyday lives, no matter what it may be, like sometimes, they're harder to find on other days, but they're always something there that we can be thankful for. Like on a bad day, I can still be thankful that I have a roof over my head. You
Mm.
know, I'm in a house, and you know, I got warm water, because you know, a lot of people don't have that. You know,
Oh yeah.
especially in other countries. You feel me?
Mm.
Like a lot of times, you know, we don't realize how blessed we are until you
Mm.
know we go through traumatic situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Exactly. That, yeah. I was actually. We had a deep conversation. One of me and my friend, and he tried to call me out. He's like, "Are you really happy? Like, are you happy as a person?" And I had to think about it. But even because I'm not just gonna say yeah I am or no I'm not,
hmm
because it's like you gotta really ask yourself like, hey, are you happy? But as I was thinking about it, I had to figure out where my happiness really came from. My happiness comes from appreciation and gratitude. You know, so it's like my happiness isn't affected if it's not raining outside or if
hmm
it's not raining. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like, or if something bad happens or something stresses me out. You know, it's the relationship you have with happiness. It's the relationship you have with stress
hmm
that determines, your outlook. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's kind of how I processed that. And I said, yeah, actually, I'm really appreciative of what I have going for me and my ability in general, like how I've been able to build myself up. So I am happy, you know?
I
So
love it.
yeah, so I think that that's kind of like, and then we were also talking about like because he asked me if I believe in like heaven or hell and something like that, and this is kind of getting into religion and stuff, and
hmm
you don't typically want to talk about religion on a podcast because there's a lot of who knows who's even watching, so
Right.
it's just like all I'm gonna say is I do believe that like there is a higher power of like
hmm
an energy, that is something that I can't even fathom,
Right.
so um, what I do know, what I do know is I think that the energy that is around us determines like we're already living in heaven, we're already living in hell. So depending on our perspective of how we're living, so
Thank you. I love that.
yeah. So I was like, all these the consumerism that we're
hmm
in is kind of the hell that we're comparing ourselves. They want us to think
Yeah.
negatively.
Right.
That is the hell because that's the toxic, that's the demon in your
hmm
mind. And if you
hmm
think that way, then yeah, you're living in hell. But
Right.
if you allow yourself to break free and start thinking, wait, I have so much going for me, and I'm going to be appreciative, and then I can live in heaven in a sense. Like I'm living
Yeah.
in my own heaven.
Right. And that's what it is in a sense, because in a way, like, it's no way to really compare. We're all going through this thing, through this journey of life, you know,
Mm,
trying to make the most of it. And everybody's journey is different.
yeah.
We may connect and come across each other on our path, but everybody's journey is different in their own right. And, you know,
Hmm.
it helps to make up who our character is and our individual person is of each
Hmm.
person going through the journey that we go through.
Yeah, and I think everything does happen for a reason in a sense, because the same way that you were in the streets and now you're not, like you were able to turn your life around. So it's like thinking about that. It's like I know that I need to build up enough confidence to really put myself out there musically, and I needed that. I needed the 10 years to do that instead of just spending a year or two not developing myself but just thinking I'm ready and having this false confidence. It's like, how do you actually build yourself up? It's through time, it's
hmm
through discovery, finding your way
Yeah.
through. So
With me in a way too, it was very similar too. Like I had to rediscover myself. Like with me getting shot, all the pieces shattered to my life, and it was just pretty much like dark
mm,
initially, and then I was just stuck picking up the pieces, you know, trying to reconfigure it. But initially, I was trying to go back to the life that I knew, which
mm,
I couldn't go back to because my life had completely changed, and I was pretty much on a new trajectory. So
yeah.
I had to rebuild and you know rebuild myself up and rebuild my confidence up because I lost my confidence. You know, I was sad, depressed. You know, I'm in a wheelchair now. I'm like, man, it took me a while just to even take a full picture in my
Wow.
wheelchair. Like it took me years for real because my
Mm,
confidence had and it was getting to me. You know, but now, fully in my element. You
that's
know, I'm
what's up.
shining. You know, I'm being a true star first and foremost, and then you know helping everybody else let their shine too, because like you're a true star too in your own right.
You
Like
really
what you're
think so?
producing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like in your gifts, you're producing, your gifts, the podcast, you being you're a people's person, you interact. That's shining. That's being a
Yeah.
true star in your own right. You're
Mm.
giving your gifts back to the world. Like we're all true stars. We're
Yeah.
all like it's that was my main thing too with creating this. It was more than me. It wasn't about being just me. Like it was about, I wanted to be an uplifting brand for everybody,
Mm.
like it's going way beyond me.
Yeah. So what? I guess to dive into that, you design your shirts. So
Yeah.
are you also thinking like, are you really into designing clothing? Are you into
Yeah.
fashion?
Well, really, what led me to making a clothing business is because initially, okay, I wanted to do a business initially,
Mm.
and I was trying to figure out, like what type of business I want to do, and initially in high school, I wanted to be a computer engineer, so I was into computers,
Mm, okay.
and I was always into fashion too, like I had a job in high school,
Mm.
so most of the times when I had a job, I would just use my money to keep myself fresh. Me and my little brother,
Okay.
so we was always looking good,
Mm.
So I was very fashionable, and I'm still very into fashion heavily. So I use computer engineering and clothing I mixed them together. And
Mm.
that's how I created my clothing business. And then I do my designs. I do partner with other people too at times, but majority of the design work is me, just tapping into my creativity.
You got solar panels on the shirt, on the
So
back, so that way, so it's like the computer side of things
yeah,
with the design. So like, are you able to harness the sun with your shirt and like create energy out of that?
yeah, in a way, like
Just teasing.
pretty much
I'm
like
just
I'm
bullshitting.
putting the positive engine into the gear. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much like when you get the gear too, you're gonna feel that positive energy. You're gonna know you're gonna feel confident in yourself. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel stylish. Like that's one of the vibe
Mm.
I'm creating through this, like where you feeling good in yourself, you feeling like you can achieve anything and you can really shine your gifts because a lot of the outside noise of the world, they try to down us and put this
Mm.
negativity in us and, try and make it seem like we're not as special as we are.
Mm.
They want us to be, you know, all sheeps in a way, following a leader when we all are individuals. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like we all got our individuality to us, which what makes us all special. So
Yeah. Do you believe in like uh trade school and like were you ever wanting to go to college or anything like that?
well, I did want to go to college, but it was like I don't know why, but to me at a young age, I was already aware of the being in debt with college.
Oh yeah.
So it was like I told myself I'm not going to put myself in debt to go to college.
Mm.
I wasn't really too much aware of the financial aid. I know it was some benefits to where you could use the financial aid, but
Mm.
majority of the people, if you didn't get a scholarship, your parents or somehow you had to come out of pocket and
Yeah.
pay for that. And a lot of people, they was going to college, getting in debt with the college degrees and stuff, get their degrees, and then still taking a year or so to find a job in their college degree. So,
Mm. Well, what was your upbringing like? Did you live with your parents?
yeah, I grew up with my mom and dad. They was married for 21 years. Yeah, so I had both parents in the household. My dad was actually, my mom and dad, they was very strict on me.
Mm.
Like, I'm the oldest of three younger brothers, so, they was kind of on me. Like, they was on me. My pops, he had a carpet cleaning business, which
Oh,
was
cool.
all clean carpet cleaning. So he used to take me to work with him. I pretty much was going to work since like fifth grade, sixth grade. So
Jeez.
he kind of like at the time, I used to be frustrated about it. Like I didn't like it as much. But as I grew older, I loved it because he instilled hard work in me,
Mm.
character in me, like he showed me how to, go and put the work in and put the work in for what you want. Like,
Mm. Yeah, 'cause
so
owning a business is not easy.
it's not at all.
Yeah.
Even with people who do good, it's not easy. Like they put a lot of work into it, and it's a lot, especially when you're investing your own money too.
Mm.
Like it's a lot. Like
It's crazy that one thing could change everything.
yeah,
It's like you could be on your path and trying to because that's all like owning your business is. It's like seeing what works, and so like, okay, this seems to work, but how do we expand? So then you try doing something. It might actually hurt the business or help the business. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like same thing for me, podcasting and music, is like, is this the set that's gonna get people interested? You know, like,
Yeah,
let me try this angle. Let me try the bamboo stick with the bamboo with the random, like, I'm just trying stuff out and
right.
see what sticks.
Right. It's an everyday thing of, thinking and trying to find, what works, what don't work, creating solutions to, finding ways to continue to expand
Mm,
and grow. Like, to me at least, it's constant, like all day, every day. Like,
mm,
I'm obsessed with my business. Like,
yeah,
just constantly thinking about, trying to find ways to flourish, find ways to grow, expand, create more customers,
yeah.
increase revenue, uptake of my designs, everything. Like,
See, when AI starts taking over, then they're going to be taking our jobs. Then they need to make money somehow, right? So because they're going to have families.
hmm
So then you those are the customers that you could harvest. Since AI just comes out of nowhere, like they're literally it's just like a computer.
yeah,
So your computers can be your customers,
right.
and then you dress the computers up, and you can
Yeah.
provide
Me personally,
service.
I think AI is something good for us, to where we can pretty much outsource things without having to do, as much work on ourselves.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
it could be harder initially, owning a business on your own and you don't have that many workers, and you're wearing so many caps and hats,
Mm,
to make everything work, while you're still trying to build and grow at the same time. So, it's a great way to outsource because I
yeah.
have tapped into it a bit, just testing just to, find ways I can create captions and stuff,
Oh yeah.
to market out to and, help, see what pretty much like paying fishing in a way.
Mm,
Seeing what bites, what don't,
yeah.
see who catches on, who don't, it's a game.
So are you making content and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do make content too, like, but mainly my content is pretty much me and my customers. Like, I like to put them on more than anything. I
Oh,
like to
okay.
let them shine because initially, like, my thing was, it was so much talent in Maryland, and Maryland wasn't always getting the spotlight,
Mm,
that we needed to, because there's so much talent out
there
here.
is.
Very talented people. Like, I know so many talented people of so many different walks of life. So it was like I want to, use my brand to, pretty
Collaborate.
much, yeah, and put a spotlight on other stars out here too who are doing their thing in their collective
Mm,
fields and, shining. So, it's all about, continuing to uplift others as well
mm-hmm.
as myself too and
Yeah.
helping, to make us all grow.
That's literally, I think that's why you are probably successful. Like, I think that you're going to be like extremely successful in the future because you have that mindset. You have a solution based mindset. You see a problem, you figure out the solution. You don't just say, oh, I can't figure it out. I don't know what to do. Because that's what like an entrepreneur or a business
Yeah,
owner, they have to go through that.
yeah,
And it's like, there is no plan B. It's just, how am I going to figure this out?
right.
What's the next step? What's the next step?
Right, and in business too, like you said, it is about creating solutions, to problems that people have off the everyday basis. So
Mm,
like that's something we constantly think about. But like when I meet new people, I like to always reiterate this a lot. Like initially, like I wasn't always this positive, and I
mm.
was really in a very dark place. Mad at the world, like. It was just very dark for me, like.
We
But
should practice being in a bad like place right
I
now.
can't do
We
it now. Like I've worked so hard to get
should.
myself out of there that I can't even take myself back there. Like even if
Yeah,
I wanted to, like even if I wanted to sit and be mad or in self pity, like
we could. You know what? Actually, so, I did improv for like 5 years, and I really enjoy. You know what improv is?
no,
So
what is it?
it's where you are acting a certain like a character. You're making up a
Hmm.
story, and then you have to live that character, and then you hope the person that you're doing it with will also pick that up, and then they'll create more of the story. So it's like imagining if you were like a, uh, a let's see, like a bow tie salesman or something like that, and you were trying to sell me a bow tie, and I only wear ties. Like, how would you go about that?
How would I go about that?
Yeah,
Well, how do you do today,
I'm
sir?
doing all right. I'm just looking for A nice tie.
Nice tie. We
Yeah.
don't have too many ties, but I have some beautiful bow ties for you. That
What's a bow tie?
a bow tie, it's like this right here,
Oh
kind
my.
of, like this, nice. You see how
Oh,
I
you
got it?
you look like Mickey Mouse.
That's a good one. I get that quite a few times here. But bow ties, they're very good, and it's more convenient, nice and short. You just clip on too.
Oh,
It's not as much as, learning how to put all the tie together.
I did lose a relative to an escalator because of the
'Cause
tie.
of the tie,
Yeah,
see?
so I am starting to.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like the bow tie, you wouldn't have to worry about all that, getting caught
Ah.
in the elevator like your family member did.
I had just got past the like. I just started getting better and not thinking about her,
Hmm.
and the fact that you're making me think about her, I don't know if I maybe I should. Yeah, actually, I should buy a
Yeah,
tie. I think.
it'll show off more of your pecs. I see you work out there. You got a nice little gym body. It'll
Thank
go
you,
good
man.
with you. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to carry my niece on my back everywhere I went.
I think she'll love the bow tie too.
Oh no, she's the one that got eaten by the elevator.
You see what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
good. I
Like,
like that. You're good. Like you're solid with it. Like you don't miss a blink too. Like you jump right
but
on
you
it.
see, I can't be negative even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, you made a joke out of me.
Yeah,
I just laughed and
that
went
was
with it.
good.
Like,
Yeah.
you see, it's just like I'm already in that mindset. It's a mindset thing too. I will say
Mm,
that played a big part too. Because initially, like, I was in a mad mindset, angry, and I
mm,
had to change that perspective, and my viewpoint on life for real. Like,
yeah.
it all started for real. That's how I look at it. It all starts with us, like within,
Mm,
like, and then with the way we see ourselves within, it starts to shatter outside of us.
mm,
Eventually, through time of consistently working on it, and having positive self-talk,
yeah.
because we don't notice this a lot of times, but the influence of the negative stuff of the world outside of us
Mm,
can create negative in talk, and if we don't control that, that can affect us too.
that
And
is true. Yeah.
that's deeper on a psychology level, and you feel me? A lot of people don't even understand that, and that's why it goes back to me getting back to the physical, the spiritual, the
Mm,
mental, and that all
mm,
play a part into it. Because if you don't, it creates imbalance, and then
yeah. That's huge. And I actually I was just talking to someone about the yin and yang
mhm,
of like our roles even as men.
mhm,
Like we are like yes we things are now becoming a little bit more merged together, and
mhm,
we're kind of playing both parts in a certain way. But I think that at least where I see my like from what my masculinity means to me is that like ability to be strong in weak times, and it's like obviously women and can be like that too, but being able to be that beacon of that support system for some like anyone,
mhm.
that type of like we're talking about what masculinity even meant, because it is kind of it's a public, it's a social
Yeah,
construct in a sense,
nowadays too,
you know.
they talk more about it too, and I dive into it a little bit. I don't know the full gist of it, but I know a little bit of it. Like, to me, I think we all have, the divine masculine and divine feminine in us,
Mhm.
each person, like, half and half is just, about which is more dominant within your
Mm.
character. Because there are females, out here who are very masculine, and then, there are females out here who are very feminine.
Yeah.
Like, same with male. There's
Mm.
males out here who are very masculine, macho, and then there's males out here who are very feminine,
Mm.
and
But I think that having that balance of knowing, okay, this is what I have to offer. It maybe I'm more of the protector,
hmm
and the you could even say provider, or like you're. I personally I struggle with compassion. That's something I need to work on. I try to get that out of like I'm a very to myself in a sense. It's kind of interesting because you think myself of me like this talkative guy, but I'm very to myself in a lot of ways,
hmm
and so I try to dig a little deeper with trying to empathize with people's situations so that I can try to just understand where they're coming from and just get to know their world a little bit more so I can kind of maneuver through my life in a way where I'm just aware. I want to be aware of what people are going through, you know, and so like I think finding out that like what I have to bring is like a lot of the time I kind of seek the opposite of what I have. So if I see the if I'm lacking compassion, I really admire compassion in other people. So I want to like hang out with them a lot more and to like I look up to them in a sense, and I see things that I want in me in other people, you know. So it's that balance that I look for, and I think that also just having that balance and saying, okay, I'm gonna work on my music at one point, like let's say tomorrow, like for 2 or 3 days, and then I'm like, okay, then I'm working on the podcast, then I'm working on my body, then I'm working on my family, then I'm working, and then it's like having that regimented schedule in order for me to know, okay, what's the next move, instead of just being aimless, which a lot of the time, since I own my own business and I'm doing everything on my own time, you got to be regimented. You got to find that balance because you could fall out of whack real quick.
Real quick, and then you left, in that hole trying to climb your way back out.
Yeah.
To like, I get it, because it's like that too with me. That's why I was telling you, I go to the gym Monday through Fridays because I like to create a routine too and get the regimen going, like, of life balance and as well as work balance too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, on top of that, having a discipline within myself, because nobody's here, watching over me. So I have to be disciplined within myself and, honor that discipline and, maintain it, within myself, because I got to stay true to myself, because at the end of the day, nobody's here looking over my shoulder telling me, I'm the boss, you got to do this and stay on me. So I got to make sure I'm doing it for me, to be the responsible person for myself.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
it comes with growth and maturity, as the years go on, and, you start to see what real life is, It ain't the same as when we living with our parents and they doing everything, and, we had the freedom to be a kid. But don't get me wrong, I love being an adult because I have my ultimate freedom to be me and live life my way.
Yeah.
You come to my apartment, shoot, it's my rules.
Yeah,
you feel me?
exactly.
So it's
Yep.
like I'm loving all of this.
And
but
you can go to Taco Bell whenever you
yeah,
want.
I do whatever I want, go wherever I
Yeah.
want. Like with me, I don't have kids either at the moment, so right now I can travel freely on the
Yeah.
dime, and like for real, that's a blessing in a way, because a lot of people, they're having kids and they're building families, so it kind of ties them down in a way, and they got to work around their work schedules and stuff like.
Yeah, and they're responsible for someone else.
like,
and everything. It's like,
I think about all that too. Like you say, I like to put myself in other people's shoes too and see from their perspective too, because like at the end of the day, we all go through something. No matter how happy we may be, like we're all going through something. Throughout life, that could bring us down, or hold us back. So, like, be kind to others, you feel me? Like,
except you don't know what they're going through.
yeah, like, you never know, they could be having suicidal thoughts, and, you come up to them and just say hi. That changed their day
Literally.
right there. And then, you bring a little bit of light, because, at the end of the day, we all want attention. We all, want to be seen and
Validated.
heard. So, yeah, that's what it's like. With me, I try and do, make sure I let you know, like, I see you.
Yeah.
I know you're a human being, and we're going through this thing called life, because nobody really has all the answers. Only God.
Yeah. And he's not telling us.
Yeah, you feel
Nah,
me?
just
He got
kidding.
us going through this
Yeah,
journey,
yeah.
trying to figure it out for ourselves,
Yeah.
which is, beautiful in a way, you feel me? Because, it all makes up this thing called life.
Damn. Have you noticed? I don't know. Maybe it's just me or my friends, but I feel like I've been clearing my throat more. I'm just kind of like constantly going, and I'm just like getting all this phlegm out. I have no idea where it came from.
Do you have any, like, allergies?
I don't think so, and I haven't got checked or anything like that. But it's been weird because I used to live in like this basement. It was like a moldy basement, and I didn't realize it was black mold until my parents checked it out, and they're like, "Wait, this is where you're living?" I was like, yeah. Sometimes you don't know you live in a bad
Right,
situation. You
right.
just
You
like,
don't, because you're just going through the motion,
yeah,
making it work for real.
yeah. And it was one of those pivotal moments where I was living in D.C. for like 5 years, really great spot in Adams Morgan, and I had a roommate, and he wanted to move out, and so I was like, oh, it's either I get a new roommate, stay here in this really great place, and pay. I think at the time I was paying like 1,000 a month, which is not that bad actually. Living in
Yeah.
DC, it was a nice area to 1,200 square feet apartment. It was actually really great. I was doing Airbnb and stuff like that every now and then for it, so it was paying for itself in a way. But I wanted to save some money, and so I was like, well, if I stay here, I might have to get a job that isn't music, and actually have to pay for this lifestyle that I'm living, or I move to Virginia, live in a basement, really small basement, with like maybe it was like 120 square feet, really small, like didn't even have a kitchen, didn't have all I had was a microwave and a table, and then I put my studio in the corner, and then I just put drapes, just so that way I could have like my feeling of like soundproof walls, and like I had like these sound what are they called, blankets that they could absorb sound and stuff like that. So I decided to move there because I could do music for a little longer, and I didn't have to get that I had to get a part-time job, but I didn't have to get like a full-on job, which would feel like I'm going away from what I love, which wouldn't sacrifice anything for what I'm like, what I love doing.
Right.
Like if
Yeah.
I'm, well, other than being with my family and that kind of thing, that's important. Cadence, come
Yeah,
on.
that's the passion with it, like would be like when I people ask me about business and going into business, I tell them like really, go after something that you're passionate about, because more than anything, when the passion's there, you're willing to go through, the harder things, and not give up, continue to find ways to create solutions and push forward. Like the
Mm,
passion will be that drive, when the motivation isn't pulling it, or
yeah, or the money's not even
yeah,
showing
or
up.
the money's not coming in how you want to, you feel me, or you're not getting the support you're looking for. Like, but the passion, like, that's what keep me going more than anything. I'm passionate about this. Like with me, I like to be fresh and nice and and
Mm,
look good. So more than anything, I'm making sure I'm taking care of myself. So I know I'm providing y'all with good quality too, because I
yeah.
already like quality as myself. So
Mm,
like that's how the passion just keep me going like throughout all the years. Because really, it's been up and down. Like it hasn't been perfect.
mm,
Like I am seeing a level of success, but it's not where I want to be. That's
yeah.
why I'm still striving and continue to move. But
Mm,
the passion is what really keeps me going more than anything. Like it's
mm,
just really being passionate about it, and creating beautiful clothing, and then seeing it on someone else and they're
yeah.
loving it too. Like
I
that,
bet that's super
it's like
rewarding.
stars to my eyes. Like it's
Yeah.
so beautiful to me. Like I love it too. Like, and then the way they feel good too about it, in the clothing, taking the pictures. Like
Mm. Have you ever thought of owning your own country?
I actually do.
Really?
I have
Because
like
you could make everyone wear
yeah,
the same thing.
really like. The thing is with goals, like, the goals, they're so serious that you can't really tell them to everybody. Like, you're serious goals when you're so
Well,
serious about it.
you just
Because,
make all the kids wear the same
yeah,
clothes or something like that.
like, the outside influence can mess that up. I noticed that. So it's like, I like to keep my goals to myself, but I'll let you in on a
So
little
you do
bit.
want to own a country?
Yeah, I have planned, of one day owning a little village, like a villa.
Oh, okay.
You know the definition of a villa,
Yeah,
right?
like a house.
No, a villa is pretty much like a whole village of people, and a community, like a whole country.
Oh, like Akon?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. And
Okay.
pretty much in the villa, like me and my people, we own everything, and all the businesses, all the homes, and we just all living off it with each other. Like,
There's just sweatshops everywhere.
yeah, not necessarily sweatshops,
Just
but
teasing.
I mean, we got it all: grocery stores, banks. You feel me? A
Yeah.
community. Everything like of a, you know, like Maryland in a way. Like
Yeah.
we got it all, but we own everything too. And we all owning a business together. Whatever they specialize in, they got a business in that. Whatever they specialize, they got it, and we all just pitching in together, like just flourishing. Like
Mm. See that's like next level. I think
yeah,
that happens from building with your friends and family,
right.
people that you care about, you can rely on,
Mhm.
and it's just like seeing everyone in the group win, and then slowly building up more and more and
Yeah.
more to the point where now you guys own the neighborhood,
Right.
and you guys are like hanging out proactive. Like you guys are having like business meetings, thinking about
Mhm.
how to expand. What are you doing over here? And
Yeah.
now you're creating a community.
Right.
So
Like
that.
that's kind of like what I got in mind, like on a deeper sense. Cause like with me, like I know my business is gonna outlive me, and I'm gonna be able to pass it down to my kids, and they do what they do with it. Whether they continue to add on to it or sell it and grow it.
Mhm.
Whatever. It's gonna
Mhm.
it's gonna be monumental.
What about getting into making your own like protein bars and like
Like really, like see,
I'm reading your mind and
I can't tell you
I
too
already know
much, but
everything.
yeah,
You
like
still-
it's like I got big dreams, yeah, really big dreams, and I want to. It's gonna be more than just clothing. Like clothing is just the main foundation right now. To me, setting the, the
Foundation.
yeah, the foundation.
Mhm.
That everything gonna build off of, because eventually, it's gonna upgrade to True Stars Enterprises,
Oh shoot.
and then.
Okay.
That's gonna open up so many other doors and other places to where I can
Cereal.
provide opportunity. I can't tell you
Yeah.
too much. I can't tell you
I'm,
too much because
Cause I'm gonna take your idea.
it
Actually, I'm gonna
no,
build.
it's not
Nah,
that. It's
just kidding.
just it's deeper than that. Cause like when you're really working on the goals, like it's deeper than that, and
Mm,
it's not even really about for everybody to know too. At the same
yeah.
time, like I know you know what I'm talking about in a
Mm.
sense, like
Yeah, there's a big picture, and right.
yeah,
But everyone doesn't need to know every
right,
move you're gonna make,
right,
and in a lot of ways, you don't need the approval of all those
at all.
people just being, oh cool, like no, I'm gonna show you.
Right, and that's my thing. Like I'd rather show you than
Hmm.
continue to talk about it. You feel me? I'd rather put the work in and show you and let my work speak for itself.
So do you make every single shirt?
No, well, pretty much I do the design, but I have a manufacturing company overseas in Pakistan that
Oh
I
wow.
work with, and he pretty much puts it together. He sew and cut the gear for me. Like it's pretty much sewn from cloth.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I used to do wholesale here in US, but it was getting like too costly for me. So overseas I'm able to, save more money and, get more profit out of my dollar too in a way.
Yeah. And I
And
saw. Sorry.
my fault. But and also, instead of it being wholesale work, from another company, we're making it ourselves from scratch
Hmm.
and, he's just sewing it together. So
Wow.
there's so
It's
much
handmade.
yeah, a lot of authenticity into it. Like
Wow. So I saw the track suits that you guys had. Those
yeah,
look
like
sick.
that's what really started, like with me working with the manufacturer. I started doing track shoots. I was able to have more freedom too with my creativity, because initially here in us they do it kind of weird here, like you go to companies that manufacture, or they do print on demand for you or those type stuff. They pretty much like try and charge you for the color for each screen print. And screen print is pretty much you got to do however many colors you got, you gotta do a screen print for each color.
Oh, it's just like a
So
maximum, like a certain amount that you have to order for every
yeah,
color.
yeah, and it's like they was only like me to do one or two colors. You feel me? Well, that would fit within my budget.
Yeah.
For example, I'll be able only to get like 30 shirts.
That's a
You
lot
know,
of shirts.
not to me.
Yeah.
You feel me? 30 shirts, but they're charging me like $500-$600 for $700.
Wow. Yeah.
Like because of the work. But with my manufacturer now in Pakistan, I'm able to, freely create as many colors as I want, and I could choose between screen printing, embroidery, direct to garment, either of those options.
Wow.
And, I'm able to do placements however I want, whatever
Mhm.
I want. I'm tapping into the, the cut of the cloth and all that. Like,
Wow.
it's really deeper now, and I'm able to get more hands on with it without actually doing it at the same time. So
Wow.
it's beautiful. Like, I don't really tell a lot of people don't even really notice too much, like
Now everyone knows it.
yeah. Eventually, now they they're gonna start getting to know more and more of it as I get more open with it, and eventually I do want to like create like a videos to where I can show more people like the background work, the inside work of what I do too.
Yeah.
So
Which is like the part of the designing.
yeah, like the design, and then like me working with my manufacturers, us like doing the size works, because I even had to do direct sizes and all that, like the measurements for the logo placements, for example, and all that. Like, yeah, we get real deep with it.
Okay.
Yeah, we take it all into account, the different types of colors of the cloth, all that. Like,
Yeah. I was at Macy's today. I was trying to find like an outfit for this interview, like the podcast, because all of a sudden I was just going. I'm trying to look fresh, but I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't have the budget right now to really be doing this. I'm like looking at all these different styles, and I've seen so many. Even this one brand called Champion. I guess I don't know them that well.
wear them.
Yeah, but I saw their shirt and I'm like, well, this is like super basic. How much is this? And I look at it because it's just a white shirt and it just says Champion on it. And I'm looking at it. It's $20. I'm like, wow. Like, I feel like I could just get a white shirt for like $5 or $10.
Yeah, plain one, yeah.
And it's just exactly what it is, but it just says Champion on it. Actually, most of my merch, most of my stuff that I design is also made by Champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This one isn't. This one is Odo.
You want to know about Champion? Initially, they used to sell in Walmart on a very cheap price. And then, as they started getting bigger, they started to expand. And then they started to rise the price up a little bit. Now, everybody wears Champion. But when it was in Walmart, they didn't really want to rock with it as much because it was cheaper.
Less.
Yeah, but now that they've expanded and grown so much and, partner with other companies, shoot, everybody love Champion.
Yeah,
they even do wholesales too for like certain companies, and their C logo will be right here, or like right here, and then the brand will put their logo and stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, that's the beauty and growth of it, like.
Eventually, you could do that, or you could sell the textile.
It's like. It's like, you
I got all the answers.
You read my mind or something, like, bro. Because
I actually had an undercover investigator.
One more idea. Like, when I get to where I want to be, eventually, I want to add to giving back, and I want to create, a way where I can have, a school for people like who want to build some type of brand of their own or clothing brand, and I want to, sit them down, teach them how to sew, like take them through sewing classes, teach them, that part of the side of it, to teach them the design part of the side of it, and also teach them the business aspect side of it, so they can know how to flourish, and, but that's just something in the works.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
it'd be like a program. I'd like part of
Yeah.
the money that goes towards your brand. It also can go towards like schools in the future
Yeah.
to teach that.
And, like a way, I wanted it to be like a way it could be like a certificate program for them to where, like they're able to be considered automatically official once they're done with it.
Like they'll know how to run their own
Yeah.
shirt business and clothing.
Manufacturing and all that. Like,
Because I feel like a lot of people kind of hide that, and you really have to dig for it.
yeah. Because me, I didn't really have nobody showing me. Like, I had another friend, by the name of Corey. He has a clothing brand, too, called Ink Slaves. Like, he showed me a few things in the beginning, how to get started. Like, because he's from Montgomery Village, too, where I'm from. And, he started his brand a year before mine. And his brand's taking off. He's doing his thing with it. And, so... he was my initial influence, starting that, somebody from our hood can do it too, like, and we can all do it. So he inspired me, uplifted me, gave me some pointers, just to get started and where to go. And after that, I was just pretty much, doing all the research and footwork myself, going on YouTube, like doing my research and finding ways and stuff. Like, even with my manufacturer, it's so weird, like... All right, I'm gonna tell you a story. I had came across a black-owned company in New Jersey that had some clothing, manufacturing company, and I tried to work with them, and do business with them. But I paid them initial fee, and it didn't go as
Mm.
planned. Like I don't know what happened, but long story short, I was just waiting and waiting. 5 months passed, still didn't hear back from them.
Mm.
About my work and my design. So I'm like, what's going on? I ain't heard nothing back. So I ended
Mm.
up, just getting a charge back on my card. Right when I do that, that's when they finally get in touch with me and stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like, I'm
They,
like, they like, we've been working on it. You did the charge back, and I was just like, my bank, I've been talking to them, and I showed them all my messages that I've been sending you. Like, I've been waiting, I ain't hear nothing from you
mm-hmm.
all. Like, what's going on? So, long story short, I didn't get my gear. I was lucky, I was able to do the chargeback with Navy Federal, but I
Yeah.
almost lost, my money, and that was $2,000 I spent,
Wow.
on some tracksuits. So that went bad.
Yeah.
Right as that going bad, though, I come across a guy on Instagram, and he's messaging me like he got a manufacturing company. Like, yeah, like, I like what you're doing, and, seeing my business. He was just like, yeah, I like what you're doing, like, I want to work with you. Like, let me be your manufacturer. So I was still kind of skeptical, but I was
Mm.
like, man, I did, ask God for him to help me find a manufacturer that I can work with and have the freedom to be creative and, explore my creativity fully. So it was like, okay, take a chance with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to take this risk and send my money to Pakistan and try it out. Man, it's the best thing that happened to me because we've been locked in ever since, and we're having a prosperous relationship.
Wow.
So
That's
it's really
fantastic.
helped me a lot, like to really expand and grow.
Yeah, when one door closes, another door opens.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. Like how go back to how everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. That's dope.
yeah,
And sometimes you don't even know because like you were skeptical
yeah.
of him approaching you like
Yeah,
that. So
very skeptical, because I didn't know him from a can of paint, and he's just reaching out to me on IG, and I'm like, shortly after that, though, it's crazy. It's now every day I get a message from different manufacturers all over the world trying to
wow.
work with me. Every single day on IG, like, we like your work, we wanna produce your clothing for you. We want to work,
Oh
and
wow.
it's like I have to turn down people every day because, I'm big on loyalty. So I told
Mm.
my guy, like, if we in this, we in this,
Mm-hmm.
like, and we
So
gotta be,
they're not sweating.
yeah,
After they watch this, they're like, we gotta work harder.
yeah.
We
It's
gotta-
like no, but really, what I like him so much because we built a relationship. Like he be pressing me out, like, bro, you ready to put some more work in? He like, when's our next project? Like that's why
yeah,
I like him too, because he keeps me on my toes and keeps me going. Like every
that's
other
what's
week,
up.
he's pressing me out, like, bro, you ready for your next project? And like I'm like, bro, I need, I gotta take it in stages because I do the marketing, I do everything,
Yeah,
and so I gotta work, my way through that too at the
I
same
feel like
time. So
we just need to. Everyone just needs to buy all of like
yeah,
the just sell you out. Just
yeah,
like
sell me out,
yeah, just
sell me out,
sell
please,
like make him have no more.
please, because I got so much more in store for y'all. So go ahead,
yeah,
help a brother out,
yeah,
sell me out.
nah.
TrueStars.com,
Yeah, but no,
TrueStarsClothing.com.
you guys should put those guys in Pakistan to work.
Yeah, sell us out, man, because we got so much more for y'all. We trying to keep y'all all fresh.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I better get my shirt for that.
Yeah.
I need a True Star shirt.
Yeah, you do.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we all should kind of rep a brand that like has a message and something. We are just so easy to throw on a piece of clothing without actually thinking what it really means, and what we look like really is a representation of our personality.
Mm-hmm.
So being conscious about what you're wearing,
Right.
like that's the next level. It's
Uh-huh.
like
And we are what we wear. So if we wearing True Stars, we are True Stars. You feel me?
boom.
It's the build up. Like really, I'm planting seeds. Like
Mhm.
you know, there's this saying, where it's like you could take a fish to the water, or you could take a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah.
But if you plant the seed in their head, you feel me? It may not grow that day. You may not get an effect that day, but a year or two down the line,
Mhm.
that seed may sprout into a tree.
You know, it's insane that you say that because, well, I think it's because my business has run month to month, and I don't know what I'm doing next month. I never know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm just like figuring it out.
Yeah,
I'm getting deals left and right. I'm trying to figure out what's gonna work. Who's biting, who's not biting. It's like, are we gonna be partners? Are we gonna work on something? No, yes, no, yes. We're gonna figure something out. Sometimes the deals don't. None of them come through, and I'm like, oh man, like that was gonna be my month. So I gotta figure out I gotta figure it out for this month. So what
yeah,
am I gonna do? And I just hustle. It's just like figuring out what's gonna work.
right.
And somehow I've managed to make it work every month.
Hey, bro, I'm in the same boat. Like
Yeah.
it be like that for me sometimes too. You know, like that's the journey of the entrepreneur too, in a way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, it's like you're discovering yourself and you're building yourself up too
Mm-hmm.
and growing yourself, but you know, you're discovering life in a way from a different aspect. You know, and it brings that hustler out of you. You know, where
Mm-hmm.
you gonna get this done and you're gonna make a way one way or another. And you know, with me, I trust in God and believe in God, and I have faith in God. So
Mm-hmm.
I like to walk by faith and not by sight. So
Mm-hmm.
you feel me? Like I let my faith in God, you know, let Him guide me and lead me through this. You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I don't always know what I'm doing, bro. You know, just one day at a time. Like I told you in the beginning, one day at a time, one step at a time. Like I got a plan that you know and goals that I work towards, but the way I get to, I adjust that every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day it's an adjustment, and you know, trying to find what works and what don't work, and you
Yeah.
know, creating that not even plan or strategy, but more so a system. That's what I'm looking to build now,
Yep.
like a system now where it just works for itself and
Yep.
grows itself. So
Yeah, and the thing is, it's never gonna be running the way you want unless you're actively putting that effort into it. So like, there is no shortcut into like someone else doing the work for you. You know.
there's no such thing as overnight success. Eventually, you know, the overnight success, you see it over thousands of nights and days. You
Yeah.
feel me? And that's you know from a lot of work putting in over the years, but
Hmm.
it's not really no overnight success. You
Yeah.
know.
When I'm 90, and if this doesn't work out, I'm still do it.
Right. Like you feel me? Like and then on top of that, you know, there was this saying too that, you know, it was something like I may not say it completely right, but it was something along the lines of, you know, if you're willing to do it for free, you know, that type of work, you know, then that's what you should really do. That to
Hmm.
the point, because I would be willing to do this for free. I wouldn't mind, you know, if we go back to, you know, what is that they call it the time periods?
Communism.
Is
I'm kidding. I'm
no,
kidding.
it's I can't say
What?
the word off my, but
Prehistoric?
pretty much when
Cavemen?
they was pretty much exchanging goods as service, you feel me?
Okay,
Like
yeah.
or their service, and you know, it wasn't really money involved. They, like, you know, say for example, you was a woods craftsman and I was a source craftsman. We would exchange services like that.
Mhm.
You know, bartering is that?
Yeah,
No.
bartering.
Yo, that's what it's bartering. Yeah, so you know, like I would like that for go back to that type style because you know then everybody would just be using their gifts and talents and
Yeah.
exchanging services like that. Like,
That is maybe
'cause,
we should go back to that.
yeah, money is nothing but a tool.
Hmm.
Some mean people put too much, you know, value over it, you know, but money is really just a tool
Hmm.
in this world that we use, you know, to get the things we want, you know, and to build the things we want at the same
Hmm.
token too. You feel me? To create more resources.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I look at these moguls, these I think that they're corporations now, but the idea of like Wall Street where it's just about flipping numbers and it's just like, can we multiply what we have into 3, 4, 5, 6 times? And then it's like once you get like your first million, then it's like multiplying that to 10 million, then multiplying to 100, and then now like these people that own these skyscrapers in New York, it's like how do they even afford these $1 billion size skyscrapers? You like think about it, you're like whoa,
Yeah.
but it's well, I'm sure there's a lot of ways that they do it, but
Hmm.
I see it kind of as like they've cracked this code, this banking code, where either they're figuring out a way for their money to multiply so fast, so that it really was like in a span of maybe 5 to 10 years. So it went from 1 million to a 1 billion in like 10 years because it just multiplied by 10 each time, and then
Yeah.
now it's like $1 billion isn't even that much for them to make a building for.
Right.
It's just one building, you know, and
Yeah.
then it's just like being able to figure out that system, find that system that's multiplying things,
Right.
and there obviously I don't know if there's just like that one way of doing it, but I know that there are people that have cracked it,
Mhm.
and I'm still trying to find that out. So if you guys know,
Right.
hit me up.
I'm in
I'm
the,
looking to get rich quick. No, I'm kidding. I'm
I'm
kidding.
in the same boat
Nah.
too, but that's what I was telling you too. Like it's more so like the successful people that have really been successful and seen great success. They created systems. Once they reached their goal, it was about creating the systems in place so that it could continue to multiply, continue to grow, and
Yeah.
like that's where the point I'm at too. Like trying to create a efficient system that's just
Mm.
rolling like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Just letting it flow, and I'm able to just do my create. Because at the point, I really just want to just be creative and just
Mhm.
create with it, really. But
Yeah.
I'm a one-man show right now, so I gotta
Well, you get
play
your.
all these other hats, which is good because it's helping me gain skills in other areas and enhance other areas that
Mhm.
I wasn't as well as in too. So
Mhm.
I'm having fun with it at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's what's up. I think that that's really important too. Is like realizing why you're doing it, because it's like, so what if you make a whole bunch of money off of it? It's like you're still working, and it's like if you're not doing what you're loving, if you're
Right.
not actually creating new ideas, it's like we are all kind of like where we're supposed to be in our journey, and that like the even if we get to a place of way more success, we're still kind of in the same position where we're trying to be creative, figure out the next step, and all
Mm-hmm.
that. It's like we're already doing it.
Yeah.
This is it. Like
Right.
we don't need to be 10 steps ahead.
For
We could
real.
just be right where we're at,
Uh-huh.
and just know that like we're doing what we love. We're creating. You're doing what you love. Like we might get off, track,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be part of it. But there's no like rush. There's no rush to it because
Right.
it's like even the richest people could be super miserable,
Yeah.
and it's like that's because they get so result oriented, they forget about what got them there.
Right. And with me too, like how you say, like I plan to do this for the rest of my life. Yes, I'm gonna expand and add on to it, but I plan to create clothing for the rest of my life. Like I really enjoyed it doing this. Like
Mm,
this is fun to me.
mm,
Helping style other people and have them feel fresh and feel good about themselves and being, and true stars.
yeah,
Like yeah, we true stars. Like
yeah.
it's deeper. It's deeper. Like than even words can explain. It's really just God working through me in a way, and
Hmm.
I'm just letting Him do it.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just made a clothing line that says Troy,
Yeah,
but you decided it's something greater than you.
yeah.
And that's don't look at my clothing line. My clothing line
Oh,
is
it's
just
okay.
is just my name.
That's okay because I thought about that too, but it was like like at the end of the day, we all need a brand in one way or
Yeah.
another. You feel me? So it's okay whether your brand is your name or something beyond you, but.
Yeah.
As long as it starts somewhere, you feel me? Because, you can always rebrand. It ain't set in stone with just that, you feel me?
Well, I'm all in on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
feel you. Ain't
kidding.
nothing wrong with it.
I'm
Like,
kidding, but it is my
yeah,
name, and like yeah, nothing's set in stone, so it could
yeah.
always change.
Yeah, it ain't like I said, like I told you, I'd have rebranded, I'd have redid my design numerous times. And then even on my, like, releases, when I release new clothing, like, I don't always have my logo on it.
Hmm.
My logo be on my tags, but
Yeah, that's cool.
I always put new designs within True Stars, and I create True
You have
Stars
some
within.
really cool designs
Yeah,
too.
within. So it's like that's me, like wanting to continue to expand, and then also want to create like this sense of individuality. Like the next person wouldn't always feel like, oh, we all rocking the same. No, it's
Hmm.
some individuality to that, and it's something that I thought about, the on a deeper sense to create this. You feel me? Like
Yeah,
because
it's beyond you.
yeah, it most definitely is. Because when you're creating, it's beyond us, really.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, we may be the person it come from, but
Hmm.
it's way beyond us though. It's God.
It's like we can't create anything without using something else. You know, like
Perfectly said.
everything around
You
us.
feel me?
You know.
Like, and that's how life is in a way. You feel it's all interconnected.
Hmm. That's deep.
Like it's all connected one way or another. Like,
A lot of my podcasts go for like an hour and a half or so, and it's just because I like to talk to like passionate people.
right. I feel you. No, 'cause it be like that too. You know, like when you get in deep conversations. You know, like me, I'm a deep diver. Like
Mm.
I'm not too much of the shadow conversations or
Yeah.
staying on the surface level. Like I like to deep dive in things and really get into your psyche and understand you
Mm.
and what you're thinking and see what I can learn from it really more than anything because every day we're learning something one way or another.
Mm.
So I try to take learning experiences from it. See how it can help me on my journey and how I can continue to grow.
Mm. Yeah. I remember when I was in a point in my life where I all I did was watch like a TV show. I'd wake up, watch a TV show. I'd watch like 6 episodes, 6, 7 episodes, and then I'd go to the gym and then do it all over again the next day. And it was just kind of like point like I always felt kind of it's like yeah I was just enjoying my life. I was just doing like, but I wasn't valuing every day in a sense that I was just kind of just waking up. Let me see what's on, and then I was being very lazy. You know, like I um I wasn't motivated. I wasn't working on music. I wasn't doing anything like other than martial arts. I mean, I've been doing martial arts for since I was 18, and that's never changed. But like, I'm talking about the bigger picture
Hmm.
of things. You know, like even though, yeah, I guess you could look at it like I wasn't doing anything, but I was like because I was doing martial arts, there was already like I was putting myself through adversity. There was some sort
Hmm.
of resistance. But what really got me to change is that after that like 3 months of doing the same thing every day, like just kind of being a couch potato. And it's like I hate to admit that that's who I was in a sense, but we all kind of like I think that there is like at least where I was, I needed there to be that there was a pushback at a certain point that there was like there's more for me than just doing this same thing every single day. It's like, why is this what I really want to do? It's like I'm not. This is so surface level. I'm not enjoying this as much as I did the first day. It's like when you're a kid and you get a chance to eat as much candy as you want, and then you do it, and then you've got this
Right.
stomach ache, and it's like now we're adults and we can eat whatever we want, but it's like no, we're not gonna eat
Right.
candy like that, you know,
Right.
because we're like we see that there is a bigger picture. We're like more mature of like that. What we do is like serving our soul in a sense. And if we're not doing what our soul is saying, it's gonna push back, and it's gonna like you're gonna feel off, and then you're not gonna know why until you realize that you need to start making changes towards doing the things that you actually believe in, rather than the surface level thing that is so easy, the instant gratification that you feel from just doing the watching the TV or just eating the convenient food. It's like no, you're gonna get fat, and you're gonna get uncomfortable, and you're
Right.
gonna get unhealthy, and you're gonna have all these other health bills and stuff like that. It's like, it's almost like the world, everything is gonna push back if you're not doing what you love. Like, it's gonna like, and then when you really know that you're doing what you love is when something pushes back and you push back, and you fight that, and you're willing to go through it even further. Like, um, it's like it's just about creating that relationship with what you are passionate about. And it's like when I was growing up, I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, people are like, "Oh, you like to play soccer? You like to do this?" Like, I wanted to be a rock star when I was in 7th grade. You know, you think I wanted to be like the Beatles. You know, that seemed really cool, but I didn't have any. I played clarinet, but I didn't have like a musical. I wasn't great. I didn't have that many great talents. I was fast. I was really athletic. But you don't know what you want to do when you're growing up. You're just kind of figuring it
Yeah.
out. And then your parents are trying to get you to go to college, and you're just going through that. And it's like, I don't even believe in this, and I'm getting bad grades anyways. So it's like, what am I doing? I don't feel like I'm on my path. Nothing's working out towards anything that I I'm not seeing what I want to be seeing in myself, you know. And out of nowhere, like I realized that there was certain things I was neglecting, that creative side, and then I started to like dabble a little bit more in the music, and then getting back to it because people, some of the people you love the most are gonna be your haters, and they're gonna be doubting you. Like my parents doubted me a lot. Like I remember this is probably pretty traumatic. This was like I was 18 and I was like, Dad, could I get this shirt that it said my name on it, my brand. It said Rivas Productions. Can I get that for my birthday? Can I get something that can represent my music? He's like, dude, like you shouldn't waste your money on something like that. And I was like, oh. Then it like stung. It like it got me to the point where I didn't even want to make music for like like a few years. And then that it like I had to realize why I was doing certain things, and it's like, no, like just because my dad didn't really believe me at that time, like I need to believe in myself at this time. Like I need to figure something out that I actually am like what I want to be doing, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what, I really love making music at that time, so let me try to really dive in what it would be like to do music full time and how to do that. Spend all your time doing music, you know. And so
Yeah.
I started doing that, like playing the piano, doing production, finding a mentor, going to guitar centers, trying to network with people, going to lectures, just meeting like-minded people. And then obviously my time was being all used towards making music. I started getting better with it, and then people start seeing the value in that, and they start paying me for my work. And then I don't want to share any of my music because I'm thinking, oh, all these are good ideas. I only want to show them with the people that are going to pay for it. And so then I'm like, oh, I need to actually make more of a presence on social media. I need to. Then you start to think how you're going
Yeah.
to navigate, and now I'm all in. And
Right.
I'm not like I was like, this is what I've been meant to do: is to create, is to connect, is to produce, it's to create emotions and vibes through an expression. It doesn't even have to be music, and a lot of that's my way of doing it. I
Hmm.
love doing it through movement. I love doing it through conversation. I love doing it through even through style too. You know that
Yeah.
as well. So it's like the more you try to do something, you start seeing the things that you actually connect with, and then you take out all of that doubt and all those people that say those negative things towards what you believe. Like you don't even know what you believe in at the time, so it's like you're just gonna take people's word for it
Hmm.
until you realize, no, let me actually try. And then when you start trying, you start seeing the thing, you start actually living it, and then it doesn't matter what people say at that point.
Right. Right.
So
Like that's one thing I learned too, with being an entrepreneur. You have to grow a tough skin because the outside voice, the noise of the outside world, like it can't get to you. And if you really let it get into your mental, it can cause you to deteriorate, distract you, go off course, or just, not do what you want to do. And, like, you got to really be locked in and focused. Like, yeah, I'm not going to let anything stop me or get in the way of what
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do. Like, with me, like, my, my journey is so similar to yours in so many ways, just in my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But like same thing, like I pretty much had to go through this, self discovery of refining myself and really figuring out what I want to do and how I want to move forward with my life. Like because pretty much I had a blank sheet.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I didn't see it at the time
Mm-hmm.
frame, that was the case, but I was given a blank sheet, a new opportunity at life. Like I gotta make the most of it. You feel me? He granted me another opportunity at life because initially I felt like I died and came back to life.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I lost my breath. I lost my legs. You feel me? I'm not the same person as I was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still Troy Anderson Jr.,
Yeah.
but I'm an evolved version of myself. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not that same character. So like, but that came with going through the motions of life of rediscovering myself. Finding out what I love, what my passion is, what I really want to do, and how I can add more value to myself and others.
Mm-hmm.
And the world around me because more than anything, like I knew I always had some type of influence, and since I've started to become more aware to it, I want to use it in a positive sense now
Mm-hmm.
because before I didn't always use it in a positive light. Like in my middle school, high school days, I could have been considered the bad boy in a way. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was causing trouble. I was a little rebellious. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I did my things here and there, but like now it's like okay. I want to use that influence in a better light. You feel me? Like I want to influence people to do the right things. And if I can shed a little light from my story and what I've been through to help them see something ahead of time than what I was. You feel me? At 22.
Mm-hmm.
If I can help them, skip a couple steps and not have to go through them trials and tribulations and just, go through the blessings of it, I want to do that. And,
Hmm.
I try and do that, now in my life, and that's how I try and be, such a more of a better
Mm.
influence with it.
Okay. I kind of have a slightly different perspective on that. And it's I think that people need to have those trials and tribulations. It's like there needs to be obstacles in the way for
Yeah.
you to realize what you do believe in. And even then, it's like, how do you know you believe in it? It's that something came came against your beliefs, and then you had to either say yes, that's what I believe in, or adapt your beliefs and slightly change. And through that moment, your belief is actually not going to be exactly the same.
Mm.
It's like because you had to go through a obstacle
Mm-hmm.
at that time, so it's going to slightly be like, oh no, my belief is what I believed in, and that I can get through this type of obstacle, whatever it is. So like, I think there's like versions of us that because our beliefs are always evolving,
Yeah.
in a sense, and like we need that adversity in order for us to figure out what we believe in. And yeah, I think that like growing up, I kind of just went with whatever anyone said. Just like I was very obedient. I was like kind of an obedient kid, just like I just go along with it. If that's what they said, then that probably is true. And then I didn't really push back. I didn't have an opinion. I didn't know how to form an opinion. I didn't have the confidence to tell people what I believed in because I didn't know what I stood for. And it took me a long time for me to like actually find my voice and my confidence that now I can say what I believe in and say it with confidence. So
Mm-hmm.
um, not everyone has that, and the only way to get that is by going through all those hard times that you don't know what the answer is. It's like you're gonna find the answer, and every time you don't know the answer, there's always a response. There's always an answer to your problem. It's like you just have to find it, and if you once you find it, now you have a little bit more confidence about that issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like the small baby steps that you have to go through. So I say, problems, bring them on. Like,
Right.
there's going to be more issues. I'm going to have editing issues. I'm going to
Yeah.
have audio issues. I'm like, it's just about finding out, like, okay, this is how to overcome that. This is how to. So, to be honest, when I have kids, I'm going to give my kids problems for no reason. Just,
Hey, I might do the same. I to be honest with you
yeah,
too, like just to help them grow. You feel
yeah,
me?
just
Like and help them, learn and be mature early. But at the same token, like I don't want to take away the experience of being a kid too.
obviously not. But like,
Um,
if we're going for a bike ride, I might break that bike before they go, and then I'm like, all right, you gotta
yeah,
fix
we're
it.
gonna fix.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say, oh man, it's broken.
right.
I'm like, I wake up and I gotta
No,
like.
but that's
So
that's
then they have to figure out how to fix the
yeah.
chain, and be like, okay, so what do we gotta do?
Uh-huh.
And then we figure it out together, and then they
Right.
might learn something that day.
No, that's good though. Like I would want to do that too, because that's teaching them life skills too. Like with me, like I feel like me personally, I didn't have the opportunity to fully be a kid. Like
Hmm.
because I had three younger brothers. Like my parents put a lot of responsibility on me early, so it was kind of like they was,
Get your act
molding
together.
me, yeah, and forcing that onto me early. So it was like it was all in a way of building up, but it was like at the same token, you feel me? Like it was obstacles, and I had to maneuver through them, and still trying to figure this out at the same token. Like
Hmm.
it'd be times, like in middle school, for example, I had to work, but at the same token, like I still had to go pick up my two younger brothers. They was in elementary school at the time. Go pick them up from school. Had to go home, go do chores,
Mm-hmm.
go work with my pops, and then do all my homework and still get up early the next day. And then
Yeah.
some nights, like he worked overnight too, because he would do contracts with, for cleaning companies, and he would be the cleaning company. So some nights, he had me working overnight, going to do work with him, and it's like, still got to get up 5:30 in the morning the next morning, get ready for school and get my little brother up,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
it's just a lot of responsibility. So it's like I didn't fully get to experience the kid. That's why I say, at the end of the day, it's nice to like let these kids enjoy the experience of being a kid because it's beautiful, really, and
Mm.
you only live that once.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
once you become adult,
You got less energy.
it's
Yeah.
so much different.
Yeah, it is.
We paying bills, you feel me? Like it's crazy.
Like we have to read philosophy
Yeah,
books and stuff.
like,
Like we gotta
We
figure out
gotta
why we're
continue to
doing.
grow. We gotta work on ourselves
Yes.
to maintain a healthy body. We
Yeah.
gotta watch what we eat. We gotta cook
Yeah.
ourselves, like
I-
groom ourselves. Yeah, it's a lot to
Dude,
it.
there's
But
days I'll look over when I see Katniss eating, and I'm like, that cat food actually looks pretty good. I could just, cut
right.
cut the middleman out. We don't need the refrigerator. Look, I'm a sharing guy.
Right.
I buy Katniss's food. Might as well just
Yeah.
start. Katniss is really. I mean, she's really healthy too. So like, she's eating right now. That's why I said that. Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like everything we say, we could just say life's a journey. Like
Yeah.
that could be the
Really. Like
slogan. Life's a journey.
it really is.
Yeah. Be a true star.
Yeah. Hey, true stars.
Salute. Yeah, salute to the true stars out there. That's great. So you want to have kids?
Yeah, I do eventually, I want to have, I think, the perfect for me is one boy, one girl,
Mm.
but, I'm not in no rush at the end of the day. I got to find a wife first. Like with me,
Mhm.
I'd rather have a wife before I have kids. So,
Oh, okay.
I want to find the right lady, we
How-
start building and, moving forward. And then, if we get there, we get there.
How's it been? If you don't mind me asking, how does it? How is being in a wheelchair affect the dating life?
It's actually very hard nowadays, like with me, like it's like it seemed like they're already judging me ahead of time with me just being in a wheelchair because they don't even really understand, a man in a wheelchair. Like a lot of times, a female don't even know if a man in a wheelchair can have sex, which we can.
Mm-hmm.
We can still have sex. Like my penis still work.
Okay.
Like so, it's just she gonna have to do all the work. You feel me?
Okay.
Like, I'm not doing all the work like before, but it's like, and it's like, it's just all this judgment on a lot of. So it's been very hard for me. I've been single like the past 10 years, really. So
Oh wow.
I've talked to females, here and there, but it's like we don't get too far really, cause
Mm.
I don't know really.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
maybe me, but maybe I couldn't tell you. But I
have you
know the
tried handcuffs?
handcuffs? Like handcuffed them and
You handcuff them to
yeah, nah,
a
I
pole
ain't-
or something.
I ain't taking it that far.
Okay.
I ain't forcing myself up on them.
I'm,
you feel
no,
me?
not
Like,
saying forcing. I'm just saying
Yeah,
handcuff.
like,
You know,
yeah.
like
No,
prevent
if
them.
she
No, I'm
into
kidding,
that
I'm
type
kidding.
of kink, yeah, we can work that out.
Okay.
I'm willing to role play. I'm willing to have fun. To please my lady. Don't get me wrong, but like I was saying, like I'm a deep type of guy. I don't really do too much of the superficial. So it's like a lot of these women be wanting to stay superficial with it too. So that lose my attraction quick with it. Like if we can't really maintain a good conversation and really get to know one another. It's like I'm already losing interest and I'm already so focused as me locked in on my goals and stuff. So with me, like really, I want an independent woman
Yeah.
who's doing her own thing. She's growing along her field, and I'm growing along my field. That way, we don't have to be codependent on one another. We can still be two whole individuals coming together, sitting side by side.
Yeah.
I'm her king, she's my queen. You
Yeah.
feel me? Side by side, locked in, like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah. I think I know what you mean with that superficial side, but it is hard to find someone who you can actually like be that deep with. But I think it's also knowing what phase you're in. If you're like in that superficial phase, because when you meet someone off the rip, you don't want to just
Yeah,
dive right
right.
into some deep
Yeah,
conversation. Unless you guys just vibe so well that
right.
it just makes sense to. But
Hmm.
when you force that, like, hey, I really want to get deep with you. It's
Yeah,
like the the interest needs to be mutual in a sense. And so
most
like
definitely.
I've had some really great moments with some females where I meet them and it's just like a loud party setting, and then we'll just spend like after meeting each other the like hours almost, like it almost feels like hours, it almost feels like the entire time just like hugging each other. That I remember this was just like years and years ago. I like talked with her, and we were just kind of flirting a little bit, and then I just started slow dancing with her, and we wouldn't have to say we didn't say anything. That was the first time meeting, and just we just kind of held each other, and it was so weird because it's just like we felt deep without having to
Hmm.
say anything, and you're just it's gonna be so random.
Yeah,
You never know who those people are gonna be, and I think it's just the willingness to be yourself and put yourself out there. You're gonna find someone that just matches that,
right.
and yeah, it's gonna work out. Like it's
Yeah,
just like one of those things.
most definitely. Like I feel the same way too. Like in a sense, like like it's. I'm not trying to get deep off the bat. I want to ease my way into it. Yeah, I'm with that same way. It's just in the same token, like you saying, like it's just about that vibe, really. Like and
Mm,
whether it's on or off. But a lot of times, with me so far at least, it's just been like seasons. They
mm,
come in for a season,
mm,
I uplift them a little bit, and then I help them heal them up a little bit, and then it's like they take that healing and go give it to the next person.
mm.
So I'm just going with it, one day at a time.
Yeah,
Whenever my lady come, we gonna work with it, and then
yeah,
we build off that really. So
yeah. Plus, you got good genes,
yeah,
so
really.
yeah.
So hey, it's coming eventually.
Is that your natural hair?
Yeah,
Wow, and you got
that's my
some really long hair too.
yeah. Smart. I've been growing it for the past 10 years since I got shot. Really,
Wow.
cause crazy. Like my barber, he's a very good barber out here. Like one of the very known guys. His name was Twin, and pretty much like he went started his own business, got his own barber shop, and he did all that, and then he wanted to continue to expand, so he moved over to scalp micropigmentation,
What's
which
that?
is pretty much like they doing tattoo type
Okay.
hairdos.
Oh,
Like if
interesting.
you you got receding hairlines, or you can't really grow your hair, he can give you a permanent, like two.
Oh,
You know how they
interesting.
got the numbers of their hairstyles and
Oh,
stuff, like
okay.
a two or a one, and
Really?
yeah, he's very good with the shape up. So
What do they have instead of hair? How do they give that permanent?
it's like a type of tattoo. Like I don't know the
It's like a
full.
furry tattoo?
No, it's just like
They put
I can't
carpet in
I
your
can't
hair?
fully tell
They put
you.
carpet in your head?
Nah, it's not. I couldn't really tell you the full because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But
Spider legs or something?
it's like I think it's like some type of tattoo, to where he create, the hair through the
Huh, the
tattoo.
follicle.
Yeah, and I could show you on Facebook. He's really good with it. Like, and well, he's pretty much, like taking over that scalp micropigmentation field. Like,
Mm.
and he was so good with the haircut. Like, you remember I was telling you I'm big on loyalty. So since he stopped cutting hair, I was just like, I'm gonna grow my hair out. I'm not letting
Wow.
nobody else touch my hair because he was that good. Like,
But you just like I feel like you do your hair pretty often. Like,
yeah, I get it done. Like retwisting, but as far as haircuts, no.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
like.
I saw the other day. I mean, even now, like your hair
Yeah.
looks cool. Like it has these really interesting trinkets.
Yeah, I have like hair ornaments. Like pretty much, I don't wear jewelry anymore, so this is the closest I get to jewelry,
Mm.
and it's like a way of me expressing myself. I got butterflies, got stars, I got different colors. Like look, my butterfly right here. Like
Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
this my another way of me letting my creativity flourish. And,
Yeah,
when I have it out, it's more colorful, but I got it all braided up right now.
that's
But
cool.
this is me adding to my individuality and another form of expressing my creativity through
Yeah,
my hair.
that's
So
sick.
yeah, I get a lot of compliments from it.
So you,
Like I got even some seashells in here.
that's cool. Where do you get your ornaments?
I got this beauty supply store I go to in Gaithersburg by where you Lake Forest Mall. This is him right here
Oh,
with
okay.
the Scott Michaels presentation.
Okay, Chris Hera.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
I like that. Just like the, cause it's a unique way of expressing yourself.
yeah. So I even got feathers in here too somewhere. Like I got a whole bunch of different type ornaments.
You got a family you don't know about?
No.
There's like a family of something in there.
Oh,
Just like a family of I don't know.
like a tribal or something?
Yeah, you got a
Oh,
tribe in there.
possibly. I couldn't tell you.
Does it smell bad?
No.
Like, do you wash your do
Yeah.
you wash it pretty often?
Yeah. And I also, like I get, hairsprays to maintain it, because I got to keep it nice too.
Yeah.
But still rough at the same time because they're dreads. So,
Right.
you know.
Do you have any sort of Jamaican roots?
No.
Hmm. What do you know what roots you have?
American?
Is it real? Is just American?
Yeah.
Your parents are from here.
Yeah, we're from here. Like, I'm not even big on the African American thing because, you think about it, look, you go to Europe, you go to Asia, them black people, they call them Europeans. You feel me? The black Asians, they're Asians. They don't consider themselves black.
Black Asians.
It's just in America, it's African Americans. Why?
Yeah.
We're really Americans. We're all Americans. I wasn't born in Africa, and really for real, a lot of these black people were already here. Like
Yeah.
when, supposedly Christopher Columbus came over from Europe, he discovered people of color already here.
What should it be called? Like Black Americans? Just Americans.
Just Americans.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
Right.
just Americans, really, because you're not calling the white American.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
feel me? Like
Exactly.
they're just
That'd be kinda-
Americans. Yeah, even Spanish Americans, they're just Americans or Hispanics.
Yeah.
You-
No, that's actually a really good point too. Let me see. Well, do you have anything that you want to talk about? Anything that you want to cover?
We covered a lot. I'm
Yeah.
here running with you. So
Yeah, that's what I love is just going with the flow,
Yeah,
whatever that
like-
person's willing to talk about.
yeah, with me too. Like I don't really plan. Like I didn't plan. I just this is what I do, man. I talk to God and I just say, man, however you want to use me today, shine through me. You feel me? Like
Hmm.
do your works and just make it all work for us.
Yeah.
And I just trust in Him really. Like I don't really go unless we discuss a game plan. I'll build a game plan around that. But for the most part, I'm just free flowing and just
Mm.
going with life. Like I got my goals. What I'm trying to achieve, and I work it in there as I go through.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel?
Same. Just it's gonna. I love just authentic
Yeah.
interactions, and so
Same
whatever comes from that is like. That's what I want people to see. It's
Right.
just the real
Yeah,
who we
the
are.
real deal. You feel me? Like being yourself. That's what I try to represent too. That's why I say always stay true to the star within you.
Mm.
Because we all got a star within us. Like we're all stars, and you got to stay true to who you are.
Are you into like nebulas and the astrological signs?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, I am into it a little bit, and I looked into it like when I was first telling people, about my brand. A lot of people, they would say initially like, oh, something like the North Star, like shooting for the North Star, like.
Okay.
And they say considering the North Star is when you're on your trajectory or your path, and like going to that guiding star that's leading you to who you are and what you are.
Mm.
So I dive a little bit into it.
Have you dabbled into music at all?
My little brothers, they rap.
Okay.
Like I got two little brothers, they rap. So not really me personally, but with me trying to help them in a rap career initially, like my younger brother, like to try and just be a helpful influence with him. I used to just freestyle with him, like
Oh, so you can freestyle?
a little bit, you know. I
All right.
just do it just off the top, just to have fun and inspire him and more confidence in him. So
Okay, so we're about to do a freestyle then. I'm gonna do the beat and then you do the freestyle.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Let's see what comes out. This comes out the
Alright,
dome,
we'll see
you know.
what comes out.
This is you helping the youth right now. Let's see.
Nah, I ain't trying
It's-
freestyle. Nah, I ain't trying freestyle.
This is why you need a written in the back of your mind. You just go right to it.
Yeah, I ain't trying freestyle. I ain't really on the music. Like,
No, not really.
I could put, words together, but, I ain't a freestyle. I ain't a rapper, none of that. I like beats, like I'm good with, recognizing what are good beats and stuff, because I'm really into beats. I like beats, so I feel like I could be a producer in a sense. Like, I could, help people figure out, what's a good beat and, like, how they should rap it with this beat or stuff, like.
Yeah, someone I was at a jazz bar club lounge, this jazz event that was happening in Georgetown, and I walk in and I'm watching this lady, and she's like 60 and she's performing, and I'm like, wow, this is like, she's really good. And we walk outside, and I run into this guy who has a cross on his. He just has this like image that he could be an artist. Like, I don't know what it was. It's just, sometimes I just have a hunch, and I just was like, hey, you do anything in music? Did you just perform earlier? He's like, no, I didn't perform, but I am a vocalist. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And he's like, well, what do you do? And so I don't know how I got into it, but I said that I am a music therapist, like, in a way, because that's what music is. And for me, it's like just putting things together. Because he asked if I was a musician, if I like can play instruments and stuff. And I can play, but it's not the same as when I produce. I produce, I see the big picture. I see what the instrument is willing to give. It isn't just me, what I'm willing to put into the instrument. It's like, instrument is all of us. It's your voice. It's what you're going through right now. It's the emotion. It's that's being translated, and me trying to get that out of someone. It's therapy in a sense. So I said that to him, and we had a deep conversation about that. But it made me think. I never really thought about it as I always joke that I'm a therapist, but I am in a sense, like a musical therapist. Like,
music is therapy in a way. Like, music is, a lot of ways people go to for soothing, or find something to where they can understand themselves, or somebody speaking to them through music that where they feel it on a deeper level. So
right,
just went to work on this. I like this.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we got deep on a lot of aspects, and dude, that's what I love about the podcast, is that in a way, like, it's taking what the basis of connecting with someone, and then just using cameras to magnify the realness. It's like if the cameras weren't here, maybe you wouldn't have said the same things. But the fact that the cameras are here, you're almost like, you also want to say something that is like worthwhile, like it's coming from a place that's like lasting in a sense.
Yeah.
And so it's coming from a deeper place. And so I love that, because it's like, yes, the cameras, let's say, like, but I'm getting to know you on a deeper level. And it's like, it was always there, but it's just like through creating content, it's like we were able to also connect with each other. And I didn't know you were this deep at all. Like, I didn't know you as creative.
A lot of people don't, like, with me, like, I like to stay to myself. I interact with people, and a lot of people, they come talk to me a lot, but a lot of the times people come to me and they just tell me their life stories.
Yeah.
And then, I give them some good energy out of that, and then, I go about my business. Like, I'll maybe get 3 or 4 sentences in here and there, a little bit about myself. But a lot of times, it's like, I'm like therapy in a way for people, like, and They just come tell me their life stories, and I just sit there and see what I can learn from it, and how I can relate to it too. And
Mm.
I just take it and move with it. It's not like I'm taking all this in to tell the next person. No, I'm looking to grow and get a better understanding of the individual that's in front of me more than anything. You
Yeah.
feel me? Because all our journeys are unique in so many different ways, and it all parallels in a way too to one another, like of how somebody could be going through one thing and it's similar to what I went through in another situation, and you
Mm.
just gave me a whole nother perspective on it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I like about it the most, like gaining new perspectives, different viewpoints, because you can't always look at one viewpoint.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where change happens is through that conversation of seeing people's viewpoints and realizing that you guys actually people have more things in common than they think, and then also through the differences we can learn how to cope with each other's differences.
Yes. Beautiful. How
Yeah.
you just put that together, because like you just said it so simplified
Yeah.
and beautiful.
Thank you, man.
I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what's great about the podcast too is that it puts you on the spot.
Yeah.
It really makes you have to be like, do I really believe this? Do I really think this way? And it's like, oh, am I gonna say this? And it's like, yeah. It's sometimes, and then you also have to be like, wait, do I actually think that? And then I'm like, yeah, I do.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
it makes you
and
think a little deeper.
a lot of times, when you're able to have deeper conversations with people, a lot of those times, you sat with yourself and had that deep talk with yourself too,
Mm.
and gained a better understanding of oneself. So,
Mm.
what I realized, when people able to be more vulnerable with other people, that means, like they came to their healing for real. Like they able to face the truth of whatever it is they went through or going through, or
Mm-hmm.
whoever they may be. You feel me? They sat with themselves and looked themselves in the mirror and said, "This is who I am, and I'm gonna be him."
Yeah, that's
And
beautiful.
you feel me? In a sense, like we all had to do that in a way, like really sit with ourselves and like find ourselves and say, is this is who I am, and I'm gonna fully be that, like and
Mm.
fully embody it and live that. Because if not, like the
You can be
outside
very
world,
confused.
yeah, and they will be quick to tell you who you is and who you isn't, and
Yeah.
have you being something that's completely not you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're in a dark place because you're not aligned with yourself, and that's what you need to find is that alignment, and you're gonna.
Happiness. Everybody has their viewpoint of what happiness is for them. All of our happiness isn't the same, and that's why when you see someone happy, don't be mad at them of what they find their happiness to be, because their happiness could be different than what my happiness is.
Mm.
Like, for example, you said your happiness is gratitude and appreciation.
Mm.
My happiness is, what is my happiness?
Yeah, here we go.
What is my happiness? Just
It's your hair.
being able to enjoy life, and make the most of it, really with me, like, and just being thankful to still be a part of life, and having life breathe through me and me living in this present.
Yeah.
The present is a present.
Yeah. Oh wait, we freestyling?
No,
All right, here we go.
I'm just saying, like, it's deeper.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't get, did you hear?
Yeah, yeah, no,
The
exactly.
present is a present,
It is.
and that's the beauty. Like, to be in the presence of now and to live in the area, because at the end of the day, all we have is these moments of now, multiple moments of now.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, the past is gone. That's yesterday. The future is ahead of us. What we going through right now?
Yeah.
The present, right here, right now. So, that's what that's what happiness is, finding, joy in the everyday moments of the
Yeah.
moment.
I was watching. I guess to wrap things up, but I was I was watching a documentary. I love documentaries, and it's called Alpine. And do you know what Alpine is?
No.
It's like mountain climbing,
Okay.
but like through very dangerous what is it called? Like weather and the environment is very dangerous. And it was just talking about this guy who was just climbing free climbing without any ropes or anything. And he was climbing these snowy mountains all the way to the top and then coming all the way down. And it was just so positive up until one point, and you realize that like man, he really did die doing something he loved, and like he was truly living in the moment, and he didn't let fear capture anything. Like he blew past all of the doubt, and it would lived completely in the moment with what he wanted to do, and it was climbing up mountains, and every single step, every a hold could have been his last, and it was eventually. It did end up becoming his last, but he did what he loved, and that's all we can like we can take from that is that he really lived his truth. He lived what he wanted, how he wanted to live. And so I like was very inspired by it, and like I have such fear of heights that like I was just thinking about being up there. I love rock climbing, and I'm passionate about rock climbing. On the low key, I am. I love rock climbing, but I just can't do it the same way because of my accident. I have I've metal in my arm and my leg, and it just prevents me from doing that. So I have to figure out how to get that passion in different ways. So part of it is just watching other people live their passion to rock climbing, and just knowing that like, hey, yeah, that's dope. I would love to,
Right.
like, I don't need to be there, but I know that you're
Right.
living
You
it right now.
experience it through him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
that's beautiful. Like that story kind of reminds me of like the crocodile hunter in a way.
hmm
Like, are you familiar with the
yeah,
crocodile?
I
Yeah,
love the
yeah,
crocodile.
I
Growing
did
up,
too. Like, cause he was so passionate and so fearless, going and to show us each and every animal, like taking us on a tour of wildlife, and
yeah,
it was just so beauty. And for him to die by the sting of a jellyfish, it's
of
like,
stingray.
yeah, or a stingray, yeah, but you would think out of all these other wild, crazy animals, you're seeing a lion would have got him, or a snake or something,
Yeah,
like, but every day, you feel me, he was living in the moment and providing us with, that journey of exploring wildlife. And
yeah.
it was just so beautiful. Like,
Mm, absolutely. Well, I know we've been going for a little time, and I have no problem. I know the buses aren't running, so I could I could take you home. But I was wondering, where could people find you on social media?
oh, well, I'm glad you brought that up because I said it
You
earlier,
said
but
it
y'all can find me on IG.
oh.
I'm glad that happened because I just like had a brain fart for a second. Yeah, you can find me on IG at True Stars, which is TRU_stars, STARZ_. I'm also on Facebook, Troy Anderson Jr., and you can also find me on True Stars Clothing, also as well on Facebook, and www.truestarsclothing.com if you want to shop with us.
There we go.
Hey,
I'll
True
put
Stars.
Hey, I'll put you in the description too,
Yeah,
so people
yeah.
can find you in
And
there.
thanks for having me, bro. It was a pleasure talking to you and connecting with you on a deeper level. Like, it's
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Yeah, and I've been really blessed to hear your story, and I'm sure there's much more coming from you, and I look forward to seeing how your journey unravels. So definitely appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, appreciate you
Yeah,
too, bro. Much love.
definitely, man.
Much love.
Well,
I
yeah,
see you at the top because we
yeah,
both headed there
yeah. No, we are for
for
sure.
sure.
I know because you have such an entrepreneur mindset, a warrior spirit. I see that in you. So
I see it in you too.
yeah,
Like,
thank you,
I
man.
can tell. Like, yeah, we gonna make it.
You can give me a compliment if you want.
A compliment. I got you. I got you.
I just don't feel like people give me enough compliments, so I just want to hear a compliment before
Bro,
we
I
go.
got you, bro. I love the way, you're always smiling and in good spirits, and I see you at the gym, how, you're always uplifting everybody, pushing people, continue to go and keep it strong. Like, I love it, especially, too, the beats you produce, and,
Mm,
it takes, to be honest, you got to have a lot of courage to really go after your dreams. So,
mm,
you feel me? I admire anybody who really go after their
mm.
dreams and chasing and believe in themselves, when initially, the world don't believe you at first and you got to prove to them.
Yeah,
Like, so I really admire that more than anything
I
because
appreciate that.
I go through that too. Like,
Thank you, man. I was not expecting such a nice thing to say.
Hey, I got you,
I
bro.
appreciate that.
I got
Yeah.
you, bro. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
I'm all about uplifting one another. You feel me? And continuing,
You're a real one. You're a
Yeah,
real one. I
keep
like that.
continuing. Like I'm trying to tell you, I wasn't always like this, bro. But
Mm.
I'm glad, that we here now. You feel me?
Yeah, I am too, man.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah. So if you guys want to go support the producer pod, go check us out in the description. I also sell samples and loops and stuff like that I've made personally for producing. So if you guys, yeah, go check it out for deep house and house music in general. But you can use it for any source of genre. But anyway, I will catch you guys. If you guys are looking to sponsor us, we're actually open to sponsors. So we'll gladly take your money and we'll shout you guys out on the podcast.
Yeah, come tap in with us.
We're doing numbers. We're doing numbers actually. I was surprised the last month we got like 18,000. All right, that's it. All right, but anyway, I catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.